Hello, Alan Biggs welcoming you to a very festive edition of the Ref Show, if it wasn't obvious enough as it is. And we do have some Christmas cheer on the show this week. Don't look so surprised. We've been calling for this all season. This was the QPR West Brom game. Craig Pawson was refereeing and he awarded QPR a penalty for grappling. Hallelujah.
Yes, I mean he was in a great position. Some people will say it was soft.
Alan Shearer did apparently.
Yeah, I understand he did. But I mean, he's got his arm. I mean, he's not give it for the first offence with his arm around because he's not done too much wrong. That's acceptable. I think that's an acceptable part. But I think when he sort of just yanked his shirt back, then I think Craig's come in and given a penalty. But I thought he missed a blatant one later on Joey Barton. I think it was it Morrison who brought him down?
I thought it was a cert penalty as well. Yeah. But see, the defenders now, all this grappling business and not looking at the ball. Actually, the defender should have just got in the right position. Yeah. It's a penalty for me. I don't care how soft it is. Yeah. If you put your hands on somebody anywhere else on the football pitch, it's a free kick.
And this has changed since you played. This defensive technique has changed because it wasn't in the game, was it, when you played?
Well, it was. I mean, when I remember playing against Italy and San Marino, and they weren't even looking at the ball. Never even looked at the ball. So if the corner was coming the other way, they'd just put their arms around you and block you. Well, it's a free kick. It's obstruction. It's a free kick.
But it's become rife now, hasn't it?
Yeah. And it's poor defending. Just get in a good position.
Right. Okay.
Well done, Craig.
So well done, Craig, for spotting that one, and also being brave enough to do something about it, and that sets a tone because there's no bigger deterrent than a penalty kick being awarded.
Well, if you look at first of all, if there's discontent about a decision, all the players get round the referee. Not one person went round the referee, so they knew.
That tells. Okay. Southampton 3, Everton 0. That was Jonathan Moss. There was a Shane Long penalty appeal rejected at 0-0. Again, I don't think that was really clearly defined. Keith Hackett made a point to me that he felt that Jonathan Moss allowed play to go on at one point when a player had a head injury and he should have.
Yeah, I mean, as a referee, you're not a doctor, and I think when you do get head injuries, I think you don't matter where the players, you stop the game straight away. You absolutely, because you just don't know, do you?
I'm not sure if the referee was sure that was an head injury at the time.
Sometimes you can't be.
You can't be, but you've got to look at. You've got to be aware. I mean, if there's a challenge, but going on to the penalty, it should have been given, and he ended up giving a corner when it should have been a goal kick. But I understand the Roberto Martinez says, it should have been a penalty anyway, so we can't complain. So yeah.
Manchester United 1-1 at Aston Villa. Lee Mason's in charge here. We have quite a categoric talking point and a verdict on this one. Gabby Agbon-Lahore and the challenge on Ashley Young sent off. Carlton.
Well, I thought first of all the referee was too quick. Too quick. Straight away, if you see him, he goes straight to his pocket. I know there's a collision and a coming together of two players at terrific place. But for me, even watching the game, right, I didn't see any feet raised. So he's not consulting his lineman, he's not had anything from his fourth division. So for him to go straight to his pocket, he's got to be 100%, that's a red card. And I don't see how he sees that.
Well, in fact, Paul Lambert and Aston Villa are appealing that as we speak.
Oh, he'll get rescinded with that.
Yeah, I mean, Carlton's right. He pulled out his red card too quickly. He didn't give himself any thinking time. But if you look at Lee's position, he was right behind Agbon-Lahore from a bit of distance. And once again, he's not got himself in a good viewing angle to see the challenge. He's got to make that angle. He missed a couple of things in the Arsenal-Newcastle game the week before. So is that playing on his mind? He missed the TOT red card. I just think he's gone by player reaction. He's guessed, and he's guessed wrong.
And finally, Martin Atkinson, who we regularly mention near the top of the show in the first few weeks of the season. He's at the bottom of the show this week for a very good reason that he's in a steady run of form. Would you agree? This was West Ham 2, Leicester 0.
Yeah, he's as I said before, he's had an indifferent start, but he just seems to be refereeing with a lot of confidence, and he seems to be. I think he's lost a little bit of weight, and he's moving around the field a lot better, a lot quicker. He's got that sprint, he's got that spring in his step, and I think he's refereeing extremely well.
Good stuff. We look forward to welcoming Carlton next week again. He's back. We're in civvies next week, chaps. So I mean, you can come this week. So we get rid of this clobber, and that's time for us to wrap up, as it were, this festive edition of the Ref Show. And let's hope we have some really good things to say about the standard of refereeing next week as well. I know that Keith Hackett has made a point on youaretheref.com that is this a turning point for referees this season? Let's hope so. Thanks ever so much for watching. We'll see you next week. In the meantime, have a very Merry Christmas. Bye.